And one of the things that I did here is I used a little bit of higher pressure, but it almost fades. All right, guys, so I showed you a couple different methods for painting. I did a lot of this freehand, and some of it I did with sharper edges using the towels, as you've seen. It's really up to you what you prefer. And really, here's a good contrast. So you can see how clean the lines are here on the edge of the wingtips that we had done. And then here's just some freehand airbrushing. And one of the things that I did here is I used a little bit of higher pressure, but it almost fades towards the edges, which is more to me of a scale look than just the hard clean lines. But if that's what you prefer, is the hard clean lines, that's fine. You know, like this one, if you prefer the faded look, freehand was good. And then if you look down here at some of this blue, if for any reason you get some overspray or something there and it's something you don't like, you can just simply take a little alcohol on a rag and clean that off. And if you wanted to keep working your way in, you can actually give that a faded look, almost like you see here on this edge, how it kind of fades away a little bit. So again, just a couple tricks here for some more scale details if that's what you're looking for in your model. Now that we have everything painted, before we get into doing any of the weathering or anything, it's time to start going through this bag of stuff and see what we could put together. Time lapse. All right, guys, learning as we go. So again, donated plane, don't know a lot about it. As I'm doing the motor installs, again, make sure that we get all of our connectors taped up there since they're kind of hidden, right? We got those nice and tight, the other side nice and tight. You see what that says on there? That says Predator. These speed controls say Predator. The other side of these fans say FMS. This is an FMS A-10, not an E-Flight. Not like it changes anything, but at least I know now where I can go dig for parts. Makes sense. Back at it. So as we go back together and continue with this build, I found out that I'm missing one of the wire springs for the gear door for the retract, so I'm going to put that, I'll make that out of some thin piano wire. I'm sure I can copy that. That doesn't look too difficult to do. And the other thing is I fished my connectors in here, and again, since these are going to go into the wing and you're probably never going to see them again, any of these connectors right there along that edge, I just simply take some hot glue and just run a little bead in there. And that helps all those things from ever coming apart. You know, over time, vibrations, rough landings, whatever, jars that stuff loose, and you wind up losing a plane and you think something else failed, or maybe you never find it. I could say that I really haven't had any of those issues. I like to attribute it to doing stuff like this. So back to the time lapse. All right, what do you guys say we throw some decals on this bad boy? Let's get to it. All right, guys, now we're going to airbrush in some weathering. I'm just using some mixed up, it's a darker gray rather than the black, and we'll see how that turns out. All right, guys, here we go. Short of a cannon, which is coming, wing spars, and a nose retract, I think we're going to be pretty good here. We have to clear it yet. Again, I used the Minwax polyacrylic. I'm going to use a mat to really kind of dull out here, so you can see we weathered it up. I like some subtle weathering around there, enough to make the lines, panel lines and stuff pop. Not too much. Super ecstatic with the way this turned out. How to make the Pt2 tube, I guess that's what that is over there on the end. Got all of our gear and stuff rebuilt. Still have to add the interior cockpit receiver, but I have an AS3X for this that I am going to program. And do you even swirl, bro? We don't do EDFs that are visible without swirlies, just so you guys know, right? All right, guys. Hopefully we will catch up with you on the clear. Guys, guess what I got? I got my spars. Sweet. And I got a nose retract. Let's get them in. All right, guys, on this one to finish up, just like all of them, we're going to use some clear matte polyacrylic. Give this thing a shot. Here it goes, guys. We're going to Maiden the Fantasy Scheme on the FMS A-10 on the Resurrection rebuild. So this thing's flying on a 6S Z-Pack 5200. It's timer set for 3.5 on this thing. Was able to dig up some of the information on throws and CG, so I think everything is right on it. Let's get it in the air and give it a shot. All right, going up.
Yeah, I got, I think, 4 gears actually.
Oh, did you? What, let's go then, right?
Yeah, well I have a...
Okay. I never got in. I think if I could get in for... I think you get a little bit of money tied up in cross business, can't you? Anywhere from like 500 to 1,000 bucks. Yeah. It's a nice time to go out. It's not real bad for everything.
Yeah, just
What get
Sorry, it's a bit far away right now. We're just trying to get the trim right. Not a bad flyer. I think I can dial the rates down on this a little bit, but it's decent. Needs a little bit of trim work on the ailerons, mechanical trim, but all right, get the gear down here and see what happens. Gear down. Landing. Flaps for full flaps, no power. Look at that, guys. What a nice flying rebuild and another successful Maiden. Again, spending a little bit of time on builds and securing things and making sure things are the way you want them prior to putting it in the air. Makes a huge difference. Absolute huge difference. You know, that's a neat flying plane, and that was an absolute joy to build. I absolutely enjoyed this one. But that was flight number 1, so hopefully we'll get a bunch more out of this. Thanks for watching. I hear you. I see you. I'll wait till you're over.
Look at the AA guns. That would be cool. I have an airsoft gun in the truck. I don't think he'd be too keen of that.
See my A-10?
Yeah.
So you're recording, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Going up.
Whoa.
Holy hell, you need one of them stabilized.
Yeah, where's your ASIN or ASIN or whatever the hell it's called? ASAN.
I need my A-10 steering. That steering is sensitive. Has good sound to it. Good power. I mean, the thing actually flies nice for a version 1 plane.
Oh, I got corona.
Try and give you a nice low speed pass here over the runway.
Yes, let's see the beauty of these colors.
Oh,
Might have been a little bit too slow there, guys. It took a little bit to pull her back up. The roll rate's nice. I got the rates dialed in, I think, where I like them now on this flight. And definitely a sensitive plane. Definitely reacts. All right, bring it in here and we'll land her. Don't forget to put your gear down. Half flap.
Locking them.
I'll have to cut that out of the footage. Full flaps. Landing. Look at that.
beautiful.
It's greasy, baby, like butter.
Beautiful.
I tell you what, this is a neat, go out and beat the tar off it. If it's easy flying and, oh, it's got a pretty sensitive, I think I'm gonna have to throw a lot of expo in that rudder to smooth that out on takeoff. So this would be a great plane for an A-10 nose gyro. Just sketchy. But hey, there you go. All right, guys, so there you have it. There's the Maiden. I hope you enjoyed the build and the repaint, the resurrection of this FMS version 1 A-10. Very successful Maiden on this thing. I hope to get a lot more flights out of it. So if you liked it, like it. If you didn't like it, hit the unlike button twice. As always, hey, hit that bell notification and subscribe to the channel. Share it if you liked it as well. Select all so you get all my content. And don't forget, hey, let's sport out some of them Just Plain Crazy t-shirts and merchandise. You can find them down in the description for the link to the Teespring site below. Helps to keep the channel ad-free because I just like sharing the content. But anyway, hey, take a look at this. This is pretty cool. I wish I had my Motion RC A-10 here as well. So again, FMS version 1, dual 70 mil fans, all right, on the resurrection plane. And then next to it, we have the E-Flight, which is the E-Flight version 2, and this is dual 64 millimeter fans on this one. So just a look in comparison size. This is very quickly becoming a nice A-10 club here, and we're starting to accrue quite a few of these things, but it's pretty cool. One of these days we're going to get together and we're going to do a bigger train than one of my last pictures. We're going to get the UMX in here, we're going to get the E-Flight, we're going to do the FMS, and all the way up to the Motion one. So those 4 in the train ought to be pretty cool. But again, it's Brendan here at Just Plain Crazy. Thanks for joining me. You guys are just plain crazy. Peace out.